If I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
It's Tuesday night, and I am the late motherfucker in this bitch right now.
Which is a very rare sight to see. It's usually me or Tone.
Yeah.
I had to walk the one of the nerd mascots because we have two of them. We have Willow and Pepper. They are our little mascots when it comes down to oh yeah. And Willow was like, I gotta go to the back. I'm like, before we gotta go in there. Really? You wait this long? She's a stubborn one too. Anyway, it's Tuesday night, guys.
It is. And it's been a fucking crazy busy week to be a nerd. Again, like we've been saying it for like the last few months, but holy shit, we've been just having drops left and right with trailers and shows. Oh man, I can't wait to get back home so I have time to actually watch a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about or going to talk about.
Indeed.
Yeah, right. So before we bring out our guest, because we have an awesome guest that's coming on before we jump into Obi-Wan and Love, Death, and Robots, which again, I hope you saw it. I hope you've been enjoying it because you got to watch it from the beginning.
I did, straight through all 3 seasons.
But let's go ahead with some announcements. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I gotta take the Halo background out. Anyway, announcements. So Medusa's Cascade is every Saturday. That's gonna drop in. It keeps dropping. 80th episode will be dropping this Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 80 episodes of a crazy D&D podcast ride by the creators over there in Beyond, by the Bearded DM. Gets to feature me, Law, Tony, playing fun-loving characters. I use fun-loving light with me because I play a fun-loving asshole. That cat is out the bag, pun intended. But it's been a great 80 episodes. It's been a long ride. I mean, this has been how many of it? We've been recording this for 2 years already.
What,
long time.
The Medusa's Cascade. It's been going on for a minute.
We're approaching that 2.5 year mark. Because we just hit 2 years.
First of all, I just want to say we didn't do our normal intro. Just saying.
What's your boy? It's your boy.
Forget it. It's too late now. We can't do it now.
Just keep going.
I'm flustered. I walk the dog. It's hot outside. I need a cold beer. I'm gonna grab me an Austin. Next announcement is that I have officially relaunched my Patreon page, which again dropping new content every Tuesday. $3 for subscription. So there you go. It's very low subscription. So come on, support your boy. But no, every Tuesday I will be dropping new content on the Patreon page. For those who want to see what I've been working on in terms of the project of the comic that I'm putting together, there you go. Patreon is the place to go. I will drop that link. But today's episode, before we get into Obi-Wan and Love, Death, and Robots, not about me today. Today's episode is about the story that we just came across. Again, we got to thank Jeff Haas for always introducing us to some great comic book creators and everything that are coming out there, writers, artists. Story that got dropped on our lap is part of a new Kickstarter, which the link is in the description. Go ahead, support it. It's an anthology series, but this gentleman wrote the section called Purple Eyes. Purple Eyes has a pretty interesting concept, which I really want to know what's going on with this story. I mean, he gives you a great snippet on his website. So we want to give him a wholehearty, nerdy welcome for the one, the only Phillip Maira. Phillip.
Yo.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, brother. Welcome. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Again, so tell us what got you into the world of comics. Like, what made you jump off into that dive off that cliff and just I'm gonna write pages.
Full disclosure, I'm a late bloomer to comics. I never had that adult in my life that just handed me an old Spider-Man or Spawn. I never. We weren't same thing. We weren't passing around Wildcats or Spawn at school growing up. I don't know why. Yeah, I was in the neglected part of neglected home.
Didn't have an interest or just not having the influence?
I just it never came in my hand. Like a physical comic book never really got into my hand. But in the same sense, it was like all my media that I consumed as a kid had something to do with comics, like all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons, X-Men's, Spider-Man cartoons. I mean, I guess you can say like Dragon Ball Z, and also like Power Rangers and stuff. That was all the stuff I was growing up on in grade school. And when I got to college, that's when some of the movies started coming out. Like when Sony got all the Marvel movies or Marvel licenses. So like Blade, Spider-Man, X-Men movies started coming out. And so they became more, I was more curious about it. But around that time, there was also some of the more non-superhero movies. So like Sin City, Hellboy, those movies were starting to come out. For the life of me, I don't know why, but I really loved the Spawn movie. Like I that was back in the day. I had an old DVD, or I had it was new then, but I had like DVD. I put on my PlayStation 2. I used to watch that like crazy. Like looking back now, it looks like it looks very outdated with the stuff, with the CG graphics and stuff. But
it was good for what it was at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, John Leguizamo's like prosthetic makeup and stuff was top notch. Everything else was not top notch.
Right. But you don't realize it until you go back and look at it. As a kid, it was like, holy crap, this is great. And then at the time, because we've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah. Early stage comic book movies. And that was like one of the good ones.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane killed it with that. It
absolutely.
It like carried Image Comics for like a long time.
Yeah.
Totally.
So the years go by, and I forget, someone in high school had a copy of I forget which one of the Sin City stories. It wasn't Yellow Bastard, it was one of the other ones that's in the movie. And I read it. I'm like, this is interesting. This is big panels, black. It's mostly black and white with little color palette. It was a unique type of storytelling device, and it was gritty and raw. And it was interesting. So flash forward a couple more years, high school going into college, that freshman year, the same buddy that gave me the Sin City, he had a copy of The Walking Dead, and I was like, hey, I'm not sure if you still read comics, and the only comic I read was the one that he ever gave me. So he's like, here's this, I think you'd like it too. And yet again, it was a black and white comic, and that really pulled me in, because as much as I've always been an active reader and reading novels and short stories, this was the language of comics, but it was very much people dealing with trauma, people dealing with tough situations, and the zombies, walkers were not the forefront of the danger. The danger was other people being horrible to each other, just basic survival necessities. And that really gripped me. And so from there, I just, like I said, late bloomer. But at that point, there was a very wide selection for me to jump into. For whatever reason, I chose not to go in the superhero direction. I think, to be honest, it was kind of jarring of knowing where to start. I know a lot of people have that feeling of like, all right, well, I know that there's a whole bunch of number ones of Batman or number ones of Spider-Man because things get revamped. Yeah. But what's like the definitive run? I know things were a little bit more loosey-goosey back then. I don't think there was a lot of collections. Like, I don't think, maybe the Long Halloween was collected, but like a lot of runs weren't kind of like bundled together as singular ideas. So I started with Vertigo. Like, I read Preacher, read Why the Last Man, read Hellblazer, read Sandman, even though it was a lot smarter than me. I needed to be a lot smarter to read Sandman. And I just kept going from there.
But you mentioned Walking Dead. You also mentioned Sin City. Was that an influence on the style of Purple Eyes? Because
yeah.
I see, again, purple does play a predominant color here, especially when you get to the eyes. So please just elaborate more too, and give us the also the influence of how did you come up with this story for Purple Eyes?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, shoot about 5 more years into the future, and I'm writing comics or writing my comic scripts, and so now this is my 4th anthology. The original Purple Eyes story that you're seeing right now was part of my 3rd anthology. of Crackle, so Crackle Volume 3. And the art that you're seeing now was created by Sean Dicker, who's an amazing traditional, ink on paper artist. So that's why the lines look so clean. And Justin Birch to the letters. So for our story, for the world of Purple Eyes, 73 minutes before you die, your eyes turn a vibrant purple, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to fix it. There's no medical treatment you can have. There's no choices you can make. It's 100%. It's 100% accurate, and the key thing is that it's similar. The TV show The Leftovers is a huge influence on me. So I wanted to have a similar vibe to that, where in that TV show it's like our timeline, everything's same world that we have, except at a certain point, exactly 2% of the population globally disappeared at the exact same moment, and they physically just disappeared. And that show viewed that unique event in a way, both spiritually and scientifically, and just kind of like people concept. Like people were like faking like they disappeared so they can just like get out of divorces and stuff. So they had a comedic way of like thinking how people would play with the rules in that world. And that's kind of how we're having Purple Eyes. So Purple Eyes occurs about 5 to 10 years after the first initial incident. In this, we're keeping the secrets kind of close. We're not telling you like what caused this and what the initial.
Oh damn!
Yeah, but the fun part is we have 18 stories from 33 creators, just a wide range. I call it like heartache, humility, and humor. Like it's a wide gambit of medical dramas, some straight up comedies, like some comedies and some gallow humor, as well as there's a sports one, there's 2 supernatural ones, there's just very like human condition ones. It's a wide variety. But as far as like the Sin City palette and the influence there, that was just something Sean and I talked about, at least in the original story, because we weren't having initial plans to expand into what everyone's looking at now. We just thought that emotionally and thematically, it worked best for our story to have that limited color palette and just have those pops of purple to really emphasize how strong of a pull and what it really means in this world. So another key fact is, even though a good chunk of the sample pages that are on the Kickstarter have this type of limited color palette, Sin City-esque artistic storytelling device, the whole book will be full color. And there's some. I just can't. There's just so many amazing creators in this book, and some that are in this book are just doing colors. They're colorists, and it'd be a shame if they just basically just play around with shades of purple, because they're just like some of the colorists. Iana's that's down there, and João Canola from Brazil. Like they're just. I want to see what they can play around with and expand upon. And obviously, some psychedelic looking colors here.
It's funny too, because later on we're going to be talking Love, Death, and Robots. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's an animation anthology. It was a bunch of animation studios getting together. This just looks like a comic book version of that, where it's a bunch of you got together, took your artistic styles. Like you see that with Purple Eyes, you see that with the other stories, and it looks like a beautiful anthology to add to someone's connection. And I love the fact that you did choose to have in your story purple as the reigning theme right there. And it is just those first few sample pages, even on your website, because you have a huge portfolio of work there. And I was like, dude, so I mean, just choosing that though, that purple, it stuck out to me. And then the beginning story where the kid's talking to his friend, Aaron's talking to his friend, and then his friend's like, it's like, get away from me, like its eyes and everything. I just thought that, again, you've already captured and makes me want to see more of what's going on in this story and in this world.
Right.
Yeah. And then also, so so Purple as being an anthology, and even looking you up and everything, you did Crackles Volume 1, 2, and 3. What is it about the forum of the anthology that draws you to it, and you keep coming back to it? Is it more so just like the unique artists and storytellers you get to work with, and kind of finding people all over the world to partner with, and kind of have this general idea that you're creating, and just creating something in that working environment? Because we love ourselves a good anthology. We've got a number of anthology series that we've had on the show, and we really enjoy reading them. And I always like hearing the folks who start them, like, why is it? What is it about that you love to do?
I mean, yes to pretty much every single point you said. So I love writing short stories, and I love getting ideas out there and character, even if it's like 3 pages, having that character develop in such a short time and getting those ideas, but also just collaborating with artists from all over the world. I mean, it's a smaller, I'm not saying it's not a big commitment, but it's a smaller commitment to approach an artist that you really, really love their work with and say, I have this 5-page story. I think your art would be perfect for it. Can you let me know if this fits in your schedule? Here's the loose deadline. Let me know if this fits with your schedule. Versus, I have this idea for a mini series, and it's going to take a good chunk of your of your life for the next 6 months. Versus, this little story, and then I can. There's so many artists that I've collaborated with that they are like one of my favorite artists. Period. Like Hannah Venzel, I've created 3 stories with her, and every single time I see something that she posts on, just sketches that she does, I'm like, this is jaw-droppingly beautiful. And I was so fortunate to collaborate with Lee Dean, who did that psychedelic, those psychedelic type of pages that you were going through. And he posted that he had open commissions, and I just sent him a script that I had finished like the week prior. I was like, would you be interested in this? Because in my mind, like, I loved his work, and I knew his work prior, but I just thought he was, because he has a book with Fantagraphics. So I was like, he's doing his own thing. Like, he's out of my league. And then he's like looking for regular commissions for Christmas gifts. And I was like, we made this beautiful story together, and he's such a fantastic storyteller. And just putting visual cues in that link from the first page to the last page. Like just that. It's like, I love being a short story writer. I know at some point I'm going to have to go deeper into the waters and write longer
you don't
narratives.
have to. Honestly, you could do this forever and just give us a lot of like very short stories that are self-contained, and be good with it.
Yeah.
What would you say of what you have on your site? Which story stands out the most, so it gives you the most meaning?
I don't know. I mean, that's hard. Each one of them, like each story itself, it has a story. For me, it has like its own internal story, like story with the creators I collaborated with. I would say, out of everything, like the Checosera, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because it's a Spanish word. I'm not great with Spanish. It's the purple one. This one, I think, is a good summation of what I had in the script and what Zorica brought artistically, like I said, both visually with her art style and with storytelling. I think that this is as concise can be for like how I like to write about magical realism, or just like weird stories that somewhat make sense type of thing. And also another story that's in there is the recent one. It's the one at the bottom right with the 2 young girls looking at the lockets. This one's a roughly newer story, and this is another story that Hannah and I did. And this time Micah Myers did the letters, because there's a lot of lettering techniques in this. But yeah, I love this story. This is something that I approached Hannah with, saying like, I have this 9-page script. Here's the script. and she, in her storytelling, you know, in her way of storytelling, she's like, I'm thumbnailing this right now. Oh yeah, the picture's cut off for some reason. Like, I'm thumbnailing this right now, and she's like, I see it's 17 pages to fit whatever you have. And talking with her, like, it was needed. So the story itself is 17 pages, but she, in her storytelling, is like, gave a lot of reaction panels, split some of the dialogue between you see a person saying a part of their dialogue, and then you see the reaction of the person listening. And it's such a pure story. It's a very somber, more human condition story about a young mother visiting her parents on Christmas Day, and the husband's not around, and you find out the husband pretty early in the story. You find out the husband is an alcoholic and a liar, but the wife knows that the husband Rob loves her and her kids, but he just has this horrible thing about him. And then later on in the story, you see Rob, and he comes, and he's the most sympathetic character, and the way that she draws him, just his body language and how he treats his young daughters, is just very heartwarming. And then, I mean, this doesn't really spoil it, but the last few pages are purposely in silence, just to have the weight and the emotion between the characters. And she did it beyond that I think I can ever see. Like, if I read this, like if I saw this, the story that we created, like in an anthology, I'd say it'd be one of my favorite stories, and something so baffling that I had a part in creating it. But yeah, and on the flip side, like, that's a lot of what we're bringing to this newer anthology. So all the things that I've learned making these previous Crackle stories, I'm bringing that all expertise, plus all these artistic connections that I've made throughout the years, and these storytellers that I've known and loved their work, and they're going to be in this anthology. And there's all these new storytellers that I just learned about their work about 2 months ago when they first pitched for the first time, and just jaw dropping, just all these skills and talents. And it hasn't been mentioned before, but one of the key things that we're doing with this anthology is we're linking these stories together as much as possible. And it's just trying to make this as unique and pure experience for the reader, because this is a world that we're building together. And so as an effect, we're figuring out different types of companies, and Scott Arnold is a musician, and he's also doing a story about a musical producer. It's kind of funny, but part of his contract, if you're with this very famous musical producer, is in the off chance you get Purple Eyes, you have to contractually produce one song on the spot before you die, or else your residuals from your stuff post mortem will not go to your estate or your loved ones or family.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's kind of like just thinking of funny things like that. Like, yeah, there will be some real assholes in there, but so we have like all those bands are going to be like scattered about between posters and shirts, and we're trying to link just little things, like just linking like the main character story. This is in theory, like the main character story 3 is a sibling of like story 10, and also they have another sibling in story 15, like little things like that.
I think that's pretty interesting for the end, because I think that's the first time anybody's come on and talked about their anthology series that they're actually trying to link some of the stories in the background. So I think that's pretty dope. What I want you to know now is, just because people who are watching, listening, what are some of the Kickstarter backing rewards that people can get to when they're backing the Kickstarter? What are some of the things they can expect when they fully get this backed? I hope you guys support it.
It's for me, I have just simple set of rewards, so nothing complex. So it's $15 for the book, and that's 104. It's going to be 140 pages. Like I said, 18 stories, which is pretty hefty. It'll be 25 prior to shipping for the physical book, but you also in that tier you get the digital book as well. So $25 for digital and physical copy. We have $45 for a physical copy of Purple Eyes plus all 3 Crackle anthologies. So pretty much at the cost of printing, as well as digital copies of all 4 books, just for $45. At this point, we have only one option or one availability left for a draw yourself into the story tier, which is always fun. Those got taken really fast. So I think one of 2 is available for I think Steven Nazario's is the only one left for that. And the other key thing that is not a tier but it's an add-on is we're doing a few of the artists have custom commissions. So you just choose whichever artist you prefer, and you can get a custom commission from them. And the little treat that we're doing for this is, so it's like, regular ink on paper, whatever TV, manga, comic book character you prefer. And there's the artist will add purple. Like if the person has purple on them, so like the same thing we say is like the Green Goblin costume, Green Goblin on the hover glider, and the purple costume is colored in. And it's cool. It sounds like it sounds like almost like a trick or like, but we're thinking about the long term. Like if you have something like that on the wall or on your fridge, it's going to look cooler than if you just have a regular black and white photo or a black and white illustration, like ink on paper. And then you have like these colors, these pops of colors. Like you can tell like it's super unique and done purposefully. It's not done lazily. Like the person forgot to add the other colors and shipped it off to you. But yeah, I mean, we have, I just try to keep it as simple as possible. And then of course we have the usual, retailer tier, because one of the big things is I've been very fortunate enough to have the Crackle comics from comic shops all across the country, and at the very bottom of the campaign page I shout out, I have a list of all those comic shops, because it does mean something. If comic shops have taken the chance on my books in the past, and they have done really well, I've restocked mostly every single comic shop that's ever backed or had my books. They do popular in those shops, but it's to help out and give incentives to the retailers. So I usually give them a large amount of bookmarks. I know it can be visual, but yeah, I always make custom bookmarks. So this one was the one I made for Crackle, has the nice cover, and then just some dialogue on the back with a QR code.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's just something simple that comic shops can just place on the table, and then your Wednesday warriors pick them up, and then they come back 2 Wednesdays from then, like, hey, I've been using this, I've been using this for a couple of weeks, tell me about this story. And that way the comic shops can sell the books better and more effectively versus just putting them on the rack and hopefully having the cover hopefully sell the thing. As much as I've been very fortunate enough to work with some amazing cover artists. Jack Foster is doing the cover for this story. We have not revealed the cover yet as of recording this, but it will be revealed either tomorrow, but most likely Thursday, June 2nd. Is that how? Yeah. So Jack and I talked for about like an hour and a half today, discussing various things on the cover. Just nerdy things like, is this how is this purple enough? Should this be like this? And just like it's things that no one's gonna think about except for us. Yeah,
pretty much.
So Phil, I just want to thank you for coming on the show, sharing to us with the Kickstarter and everything. I know that you joined us for the pop culture segment, or
I haven't watched Love, Death and Robots.
You better watch it then. You better watch it.
You have to watch it.
Oh season 1. I gotta play catch up.
Yeah,
it's so weird. We literally just got Val into it, and she binged the entire 3 seasons.
Yep, this weekend.
Listen,
So sad.
as fans of anthologies, you're gonna love it. It's but again, we want to wish you a lot luck with the Kickstarter. We want to see this get made, guys. You heard from Phillip Maira. So what we're gonna do is, Phil, we're going to give you the plug. Please let us know where we can find you.
So you can find me usually on Twitter because I hype up all my friends and share a lot of images and books that I enjoy. So Phillip Maira, PhillipMaira. And I'm on Instagram, but I'm mostly on Twitter. You can find Purple Eyes on Kickstarter, just Purple Eyes in the search bar, or purpleeyescomic.com. It'll shoot you straight to the Kickstarter. Yeah, it's live until June 15th. We're just approaching a third funded. We have about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a couple hours left for the campaign live. And I forgot the key part. The key part is the goal is really high. I will admit that it's 18 grand, but the vast majority of the money, over about half the money, is going straight to the creators. And that was the key part, is that I wanted all the creators to get a fair page rate. So yes, the Kickstarter funding goal is high, but it's for a good reason. It's to help up and coming creators to have a living and established page rate so they can create comics and not worry about paying the bills.
Right.
Thank you again, Philip. We want to thank you again for coming on. Again, guys, this is Phillip Maira. Make sure you guys are there. Check out the link of the Kickstarter. It is in the description. Go there, support it. Again, keep in mind that your pledge is also going out there to help support creators, help them support to create more content out there. Phil, we want to thank you for coming on Nerd.
Yeah.
Officially, nerd you out, give it the Nerd's crown.
Yeah.
Thank
Welcome.
You
welcome.
Yeah,
You're always welcome to come back anytime, brother.
Thanks. I'm gonna go watch some Love, Death, and Robots now.
Go
Yes,
for it.
you will enjoy it. Surprisingly, it's very, very good. Let us know.
See ya. Thanks for
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And guys, we are now in our pop culture segment. Wait, got the Love, Death, and Robots robot back there. So while you guys are doing that, what do you want to tackle on first? You want to tackle Obi-Wan, or should we go on Love, Death, and Robots?
Love Robots.
Let's do Love, Death, and Robots. Because Obi-Wan can drag on because it's 2 episodes. Love, Death, and Robots. We can pick what we liked, what we didn't like, and kind of talk about it, and also get Val's initial thoughts for watching it.
Man.
Well, first, let's do that. Let's each pick our favorite episode this season, but let's open up with Val's hot take about Love, Death, and Robots, since she is a Love, Death, and Robots noob.
Yes, I'm a complete noob. So I do want to correct something I said last week, where I said it reminded me of a Tales from the Crypt kind of episode, the dump one. It was actually from Creep Show, the one with the oil spill in the water. Do you guys? I don't know if you guys remember that.
It was like the Blob. It was like
but it was like an oil spill on this lake that these.
It was the
Stephen King's Creep Show. Did you ever watch that?
No. I'm thinking. I thought you just meant Creep Show, the season of American Horror Story.
No.
It's talking about old school, because this is something why I was afraid to swim for a very long time. But the Blob thing, the dump episode reminded me of Creep Show, not Tales from the Crypt. But I needed to correct that because I said that last week and that was like not accurate. But there are very, very good stories in this. Very short. There are some that like are creepy, and then some that were like really, really interesting. Like I wanted to see more of. And because I binged the 3 seasons straight. They're very short each episode, but I was surprised to see how good the artwork is and how diverse it was in each episode. It made me interested in the actual series, and I didn't have to be overly invested in any character or anything like that, but it was just very good. So thank you guys for introducing me to this particular thing.
Nice.
I'm with it.
Nice.
I think I finally got what I realized. I did skip that spider episode that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
no! I have to ask about this.
Season 1.
Because does that mean he fucked the thing that that was weird. That was really weird.
It was all a simulation.
Yeah, it was
Space
like,
spider,
so wait, no. So I don't.
space spiders
I
need
don't.
love too.
Oh no! I don't think he was actually penetrating the space spider. I think
We
it
don't
was
know.
he was
All
in.
in his head.
It was all in his head. He was in a, and then when he begged her to let me see, and then that's when she lets him off, and then he kind of realizes that it was all a dream and all a simulation.
Yeah, because he's totally
Yeah.
screwed and he's gonna die there.
Yeah. So like he wasn't actually, screwing the
Got it.
space
I
spider.
mean, that's what it was like, wait a minute. This is
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
Another one that stands out for me of the Michael B. Jordan episode.
Wasn't the animation of that
CGI,
really
man,
good?
it's
So good.
fantastic.
So good.
I don't think
I
I was
was
crazy
really
about the episode
surprised.
itself, but I love the
The
animation
CGI.
on it.
No, the
Yeah.
animation on it was very good. I mean, the episode, there wasn't a whole lot going on other than this like malfunctioning robot.
Yeah.
No,
Another one that I really liked was the crap. I'm losing it.
Don't worry, there's a lot.
There's a lot because I watched a
The
lot
first
in
season,
the.
Werewolf one?
episodes.
I gotta
Some of
look
them
at the titles. I'm gonna look at the titles because
First
that's
season
gonna
had it had a lot.
jog my
Yeah,
memory.
the first season was it really set the pace with what they wanted to do. Second season was okay, it was a little comedic, but this third season, I really think it picked up with some of the episodes.
Oh, the first episode with the 3 robots, though.
Oh
First
yeah.
of all,
So also,
that was so funny.
I will say this: when I rewatched it, I noticed, and I was playing it for a couple of people in Discord. The order of season 1 has changed. So how we watched it when we first initially watched it, 3 Robots wasn't the first one you watch. You watch initially Sunny's Game.
Yeah.
And that's like how everyone's like, oh shit. Like for me, and I think the guys can agree, like that is such a way to start a series that we were just like, yep, we're all in. Let's do it.
I think it was Sunny's Edge, 3 Robots.
Yeah, 3 Robots was the second episode.
I think Suits. I think was 3.
I can give you the rundown because they still
Edge
technically
was
have it on
so good.
IMDb.
I was surprised at that reveal at the end because I wasn't expecting that.
Sunny's
was
very
Edge,
good.
3 Robots, The Witness, Suits, Suckers of Souls, the Yogurt episodes, Beyond the Aquilia Rift, Good Hunting, The Dump, Shapeshifters,
looking at it
Helping
right now.
Hands, Fish Night, Lucky 13, Zima Blue, Blind Spot, Ice
Lucky?
Age, our alternate histories, and The Secret War.
Lucky 13 was
Alternate
another
Histories was another
Yeah.
funny one of the different ways that Hitler gets killed.
Yeah.
That was so funny. So funny.
Yeah, I gotta say this season though, my two
Lucky
favorites.
13 was another one. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Lucky 13, the animation was beautiful in that. You could see the pores and
It's
the
like a
story.
video game.
But
Yeah.
in this season, it was episode 2, the one with the ship with the crew.
Yo,
Oh, Bad Traveling?
what?
Bad Traveling was really good.
That was
I
real.
will
And then
say, almost every episode of this season slapped. Like there wasn't really a one.
I didn't care for the last episode.
the
The
last,
one with the siren,
I didn't care
Yeah,
for Jabbar.
yeah.
it was
I was
weird. It was weird, and I didn't like that he ended up gaining his hearing. I thought he would get away.
I didn't like the what was the one with all the like the miniature zombies?
Oh,
kind of
Night
thing?
of the Mini
I
Dead.
thought
That was really funny.
I thought
It
that was
was
funny.
It was
It was
cool,
just
but
funny.
It was a throwaway.
yeah.
It was more fun. It was like fun
Like-
because if you watch it with captions, you get to hear what they're actually saying.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah,
Like
when they-
the freezer episode, it was kind of like it gave me that reminiscent.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one better than the freezer episode because I was like, this was just it's funny too when they saw the White House. It's like zombies. We don't need no fucking zombies, and it just starts calling out everything. It's like what? The last episode, I could see why people probably want to like. I mean,
Are we gonna go around the horn and
we're
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
around the horn.
everyone-
We're gonna go around
everyone-
the horn.
everyone
I
pick
just
their
wanted to
episode.
I wanted to just throw my 2 cents on the last.
I will
episode.
say we can't pick 3 robots.
Is this
'cause,
the
like, I always
Jabara
have-
one?
I always have to add 3 robots to my list.
3 robots. Jabara was
I love
for me.
3
It was the
robots.
camera.
We can have the same 3 episodes. Like we can.
Wait, I'm
obviously pick-
confused. So it's 3 robots in every season?
No,
3
they're in
robots.
season
This,
1 and in season 3.
yeah, this is the first time they revisited and one of the episodes, and 3
Yeah.
robots was the one.
Okay.
But yeah, doing that. So 3 robots, we know they're always going to be there. But no, Jabara was my least like because I guess for me it was the camera motion. It was too all over the place, so I really couldn't tell with the animation. I know what did the siren, she looked pretty beautiful, but it just, with everything that was going on with the camera work, it kind of made me lose a little bit of what was going on in the story. But you kind of got the artistic expression that was going through, or whatever. But it was the weakest one this season. I feel like there's always one weak one this season, and I feel like that was the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so,
My favorite was Mason's Rats.
Yes.
yo, that was so good.
It was such a good episode because all right, so it brings to the mind, obviously we aren't the only ones who evolve over time, right? So as society and things of that nature to continue to grow, there's certain things that stay the same. However, why can't other creatures evolve as well? So you see these rats become like primitives, and then learn, and then excel, and then adapt to what the fuck he's trying to do to get rid of them. And then they create this other machine, and he's like, oh, okay, you know what, I feel bad for them. So
Did we
really
all
like
know
that.
what happened to that machine as soon as they were like, we couldn't find it, or that we couldn't get the parts for it, or whatever the case is? Like, we all know.
Yeah, they're using it.
Yep, they scrapped it.
Yep, pretty much. That was funny.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was a really fun episode. I will, like, again, this season, coming off of season 2, and I did the whole season 1, 2, and 3 myself. Season 2, coming from season 1 had it had way more episodes, but it also had way more hits. Like there was such a low amount of episodes that we were like, it didn't really resonate with us, or we just knew it just wasn't a good episode.
This season had a good amount of them, though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Versus season 2, you're getting like the ones you love, you freaking like over the moon about. But there were so many misses that we were just like,
I think season 2 had a high bar to come in.
Yeah. Well, even the fact that, I mean, the high bar, but it's also the fact just like there weren't, like, to Lost's point, season 2, like some of the animation was really great, but like there was only like a handful that I really liked. Where here,
Snow in the Desert,
I liked a good amount of them. Like I was watching them, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm here for it. Jabaro is the least favorite one. I just didn't care for it.
The very Pulse of the Machine one as well, I wasn't a big fan of.
It was an interesting concept, but yeah,
that one gave me Zima Blue vibes.
That actually gave me Big Fish vibes.
That too, because the animation style, with the whole thing with the robot, it kind of like, it was like those mercenaries. That one, I can see that one was like my second least favorite.
So I love Bat Traveling. I love Three Robots, but like, so Bat Traveling, the Swarm, and the Invaulted Halls one, I was like, God damn, these need to be longer. These need to be longer.
That's kind of my 3.
Yeah. Invaulted Halls gave me video game vibes. Like you don't know what to expect. You're running in there, these coming in, killing everything, and it was just really, really good.
Well, what about
they need to do more Eldritch stuff. Like the fact that you do the Cthulhu thing, and like it's like I think the first time we got some Eldritch horror with Love, Death, and Robots, and I hope we get a little bit
wild, man.
We get a little bit more, because I was like, you see him, and like I was like, oh, it's Cthulhu, and then you see like all the shit he's doing. I'm like, all right, cool. And then she rips her eyes out because she's going insane and all that. I was like, yeah.
She also cut off her ears.
Yeah.
Oh, she cut off her ears? I didn't see that she cut off her ears.
She cut off her ears and eyes. Okay. Fight Team Fight was pretty funny. That's the one where they were taking on the cybernetic bear.
Oh, Kill Team
Kill. Kill Team Kill. Yeah,
that one I laughed the hardest with. That one, I think that one I laughed like the absolute hardest.
I thought the mini one was really funny to me.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
Tell my wife, fuck their sister.
I forgot about that. Yes.
It was so good.
That's so funny.
Tell me how you're petty without telling me you're petty. That was the line, the mall right there. But the episode,
as soon as the bear landed, it was like, oh, that's a third. I was like, bro, it's a trap, it's a setup. The bear's not down. Like,
it's always a setup. You always wait. Like you watch these things. Like the one thing I always liked about watching them, is like you're waiting for like those are my favorites. The ones where the shoe drops.
Yeah.
So like when you're watching the Swarm, you're like, all right, this shit's too good to be true. And then Homeboy's like, I got this plan to enslave them.
A good...
And I'm like, oh man, y'all are
that was a good story though. Because
wild.
you're talking about a creature that is able to adapt and take in different creatures and make it work for her system, her process, and you think your over pretentious ass is going to be able to change that and successfully do it. And she kind of was like, bro,
I was
yeah,
born a week ago.
yeah. And I already know that I can take you on and enslave your entire civilization.
Yeah.
I would like for them to do this another part to that to see whether or not his challenge actually is something he can overcome. So
I don't know that they'd give us that. I honestly think they would give us like the perspective of the people on the other side that are waiting for him to return with his like thing.
I would love to see that as a video game because that really felt like an opening for a game.
Yo, that actually would be
Imagine.
wild. I'm here for it.
and I would like you to be able to choose humanity or swarm as a character.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, like for that
Like-
whole
like-
time watching it, I was just like, all right, when are we gonna get to the part where they're gonna enslave humanity? Because they kept dropping the hints of like, yeah, they were aggressive, and now they brought them in, and now they have their thing. I'm like, all right, let's see, where's humanity gonna come into place when the swarm's like, all right, y'all are fucking around with the galaxy too much. We've been around for millions of years.
But can we talk a second for bad traveling and how smart that captain was?
Yeah, yo,
like
Bro.
he's smart, but he's a yo.
he wasn't a.
He's a shitty dude.
He was because
Is he really though?
he knew
Or his squad was
it was
shitty?
yeah, it was the whole squad.
They're all
They're
shitty.
all
he
shitty.
he was just better at being shitty. Like
Yeah.
Right.
He
The dude,
outplayed everybody.
the
He
dude knew that this monster was out there and they were going to go through this process, right? I feel like that was something they introduced in the beginning, right? Now he's working with them because he's like, fuck, I got to make this shit work. He knew how to eliminate who was going to be a problem.
he
And he knew
eliminated.
none of them was
he
going to
el-
be able to.
No, he eliminated everybody when it came to the voting because he told the dude that
That shit
everybody
with the
marked
brothers?
X.
Yeah.
He knew everybody marked X.
Everybody was willing to
Everybody.
give up that island.
Yeah, and
Every
he was
single
like, I
one of
wasn't.
them.
He was the only one who had his humanity. Everyone else lost their humanity there, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not. I'm willing to sacrifice myself." To make
Right,
sure
which
this
is why I
person
say,
goes."
is he the shitty one, really? Because he did the job.
yeah.
he played all like a fiddle. I was
It
like,
was
"Yo,
so good. That actually, you know what? That one's probably my favorite. Now that I'm thinking about it.
no, that's why I loved it. It
feel
was a
like
game of chess."
That was season 3's Beyond the Aquilian Rift
Yeah,
for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really it was like oh, this is the type of anime, this is the type of CGI that I like. And then you see the monster and you see the gore. I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
like this.
I like.
Yo,
It's funny when they threw
enjoy
the
this.
big dude in there. When he threw the big dude, he was like, "Wait, me?" He just threw him in there.
It's like, looks like we already
True.
chose. And it was like, wait, what? Because and
they-
he the way he manipulated it and got people on board to do so, because he'd be the one that would be a problem. You know, he can't take him.
Mhm.
He was just a smart character.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to see him like be a full-on villain somewhere else. Like that, I don't blame him at all.
And I guess
Right.
he was that character that you see that is morally great. He would do what's right at the expense of us. And he was like, my crew is shitty. This crew that I'm taking over is shitty. And he's like, this creature, I have to play the creature. It was like he knew what he was doing when he got the captain's key,
Mhm.
bolted for the gun. Once he got the gun, he had control. Once he got control, then he did the whole thing with the vote and already knew that, oh, everyone else is shitty here. I'm gonna have to, because he knew that, especially the fact when he set them all
I'm
up
gonna
and they
go- I'm
tried to
gonna
kill
go
him
lay
in his
down.
sleep.
Yo, I knew it from the moment they walked in. I was like,
That's fake.
pop, pop, pop. Y'all all can't pop. He was waiting for y'all. He was waiting for y'all to fuck up and be like, oh, we can
Yep.
just do X, Y, and Z. And sure enough,
hmm I
y'all
think
ain't shit.
it's because the vote alone told him that none of them were on his side.
They were on untrustworthy.
And
Yeah.
he played it out so smart because he said, "Oh, I folded the corners, and I know two of us are not going to be able to go along with this." And he eliminated those two,
Mhm.
knowing everyone else marked a certain way, which means they were part of the one or the of the two and got away with it. So it made
Mhm.
everyone seem like, "Oh shit, this is what could have happened if he knew it was me instead of them."
Mhm.
It was just played out so well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am
Very well.
This was a really, really, really solid season. Like,
it was a very fun watch. Again, it's like it's very enjoyable, especially when you see animation studios get together, because like you got that with in Disney Plus with the Star Wars, which is coming out with their season 2, which is
yeah.
Are they coming out with a season 2? That'd be good.
Yeah.
They announced a bunch of stuff. We're getting season 2 of that. We're getting Jedi Stories anthology. So we'll hear about how Qui-Gon.
I'd like to see more Sith
and Dooku. I think we're getting the Acolyte. I don't know if that's Sith related.
I also want Old Republic.
May get that.
I want more of those
most
stories.
people want that.
Yeah, I think everybody.
I mean, we've gotten a lot of the stories between the Skywalker sagas, and that's great. I love it. I'm not against it, but I want to expand more because there's so much more to do.
Yeah.
There's so much more.
So with that, how are you guys feeling about these first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan?
I love it.
Yo.
Love it. First of all, okay. First of all, we're getting to my favorite part of the show.
Yeah,
oh wow.
Do your thing.
First of all, the first few seconds of this damn show was so nostalgic. I had goosebumps. It was like, oh my god, this is so great. Showing Order 66, us reliving the shit that we had when we grew up, our version of the trilogy anyway, even though it wasn't as good as the original. However, seeing that go back and you're getting it from a different perspective, it took me, because I was able to enjoy Clone Wars, I was able to enjoy Rebels, and it was just so good. It was just so good. You can take me off the big screen, please. Thank you. But I think they did such an amazing job with tying it in to grab the feels, to tie in where that point of time stood in this universe and why the transition to 10 years later is so dramatic at this point, and where you see with the Inquisitors and them hunting the Jedis and Obi-Wan losing his hope. It's a great reminder of people who pull away from it or people who haven't really given the love that trilogy has seen. Granted, there are faults with that trilogy. However, it's still part of this Skywalker saga that adds to the overall story.
But there's also a universal story, because there's a lot of stuff that's happened, like not just Obi-Wan, the way he feels and like how he's lost hope, because that's, it's a grizzled veteran, and you see that too when you see a clone trooper in the streets begging while there are stormtroopers walking around us. So it's like, oh damn, what happened to this 10-year spirit?
That was so good.
That's Anakin. That's one of Anakin's too. He's from the 501st. He was one of the ones that stormed the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, and
Morrison just collecting checks.
He's like,
right. That his dude's face is on everything. Did you guys see? I saw a clip of him doing his tribal dance what's the thing they had in California?
Star Wars Celebration?
Yes. So before he exited off, he starts doing the tribal dance, the Australian.
The haka?
Yes, and he was going so, and I was like, oh my god, he's so good. I just love him. I just really love him. Listen, and I think that seeing him grow with this series has been really great.
Absolutely. He's been one of the lucky ones to get that paycheck, because again, Boba Fett, Mandalorian, what was it? They again with the sequel, not the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But again, it just going back to the world and seeing how it's been affected those 10 years. You got the outer colonies. You have obviously get a hint of that small power struggle when you see Jimmy Smith's character again when he's talking to a relative. It was like
I was happy to see him again.
Yeah.
The fact that we get to see Alderaan before it's blown up.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So it's our first time really.
Also,
really
Leia as a child is so like Padme.
Absolutely.
And even more strong. So like I think this character, this little girl, captured a good embodiment of Leia's character. And for so young, I thought she was it was just so good.
Absolutely.
And you see things that of her connection to the Force without her even realizing she's doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just done so well, and whoever wrote for her, whoever like that they did a great job in how she read her cousin, how she was able to read Obi-Wan. This little girl was just on point the entire time. I loved her.
Yeah, I like that they're because like because Obi-Wan can't really do anything with Luke. It's not going to be him sulking over doing anything with Luke because Luke doesn't really have that
For another
relationship,
9 more years.
right? So they're putting it on Leia, and like we're gonna and we finally understand like the whole thing of why she trusted him with the message in
Right.
in A New Hope.
Right.
And
The fact
it's
that
not-
she comes
yeah.
to him with the only hope that the freaking galaxy has. So
Yep.
yeah. Because we don't really see, like, Luke knows Obi-Wan, but he doesn't know him. They don't have a relationship
Yeah.
until New Hope.
Nope.
Yep.
So I'm happy to see this chapter of what we've been missing, what happens to Obi-Wan. I don't like that I understand it, but I don't like that he's so dismissive of what he dedicated his life to. Like when this Jedi came
Obi-Wan?
looking for his help. Yeah,
Well,
I understand why.
I think so so what I think they did a better job of portraying Obi-Wan lost
Yes.
than what we got with Luke.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think in these first 2 episodes, you really feel he's
Yeah.
defeated and failed. He failed Anakin, he failed Qui-Gon, he failed the Jedi. And
I
he's
agree.
wearing that on his sleeve. He's wearing on him, and when he talks to that, he's like, I don't throw that thing in the fucking sand
Mhm.
and live. Right? But with Luke, it just and I'm not trying. I'm really not trying to talk about this because
It felt forced with Luke.
you know, it felt forced.
Because first of all, Mark Hamill didn't agree with it in the first place.
Mhm.
Mark Hamill was completely against it, did not like the direction that they chose to go with Luke. It didn't make sense to him as the character. So he didn't deliver it as he believed in it.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the
you
memes are also
feel that.
the memes are also funny. Is like, you know, I sense good in my dad. I'm gonna save you. Oh, this motherfucker's having bad dreams. I gotta kill him. I mean, it's unfortunate. I just think with Obi-Wan, like you really get his struggle,
Mhm.
and you feel and you get that he's not connected to the Force, and he's struggling because he is reaching out to Qui-Gon, and he's not getting it, and we don't know if that's something that he did have, like he was able to because he was so happy to do it after he had that conversation with Yoda when the kids were born. And then, you know, dealing with what the Inquisitors are doing, dealing with that Owen doesn't want him to have a relationship with Luke. He loses that connection to the Force and to Qui-Gon, and he's trying for it. I'm betting we get a Liam Neeson cameo by the
I
end
think
of this.
we will.
Oh, man,
I think we
please.
will.
Force Ghost.
As
Yes,
the Force goes. I think we will. I think that it'll allude to that eventually, because he's going to. I think because we're supposed to see also Obi-Wan be able to do it as well, where he's connected and he's going to be able to, because he was ready to go in A New Hope. He was ready. He knew this was his last mission. Although we don't know that at the time when you're first being introduced to this world. However, now it makes more sense. And there's so much things. If they did a remake, there are so much things that they could do differently and make that series, that initial trilogy. I know people would be pissed. However, I feel like there are so many things they can do with it that would give us more.
The Star Wars assholes are pissed now with a lot of stuff. It's like, why are you pissed about? They're pissed about for the all wrong reasons, but we won't touch on that.
I'm not giving that energy.
Yeah, no, we're not. But everyone came with their A game. I love the fact that the Inquisitors, they're threatening. They're threatening, and even are willing to turn, as we've seen, on their own.
Can I make a point about something real quick? I feel like this is also a little bit of where you see the good in Anakin. Hear me out for just a second. Where he creates the loophole of having just the two rule, and having more Inquisitors to keep that Jedi, the Force, involved, even though they're on the dark side, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
I see it.
Where he's not ready to kill them all, even though they were to serve his purpose. But these are people who are Force sensitive, former Jedis, things of that nature. And he keeps that kind of thing going, knowing they may not be entirely turned.
So
It's
having
not
not watched Rebels, like who are the Inquisitors? Like, what is their deal?
Inquisitors are basically Jedi or Force sensitive people or aliens who are used to hunt down Jedi.
Okay.
And they're not technically Sith, but they are dark Force users. But I think that's a loophole for them to be able to get away from the two rule, because Sith are only supposed to be two based
Mhm.
on Bane, correct? Tone, you know better than I do with the legends. I'm still learning legends.
Yeah, rule of two is all rule of two is all Bane, but I don't even know if I don't even think Vader prescribes to it, because I don't think Palpatine spoke to him about that, because when you speak about the rule of two, Jesus, the rule of two is that the master who's talking to the apprentice understands that eventually that apprentice is gonna kill me.
Yes.
So Plagueis did that with Palpatine, and Palpatine, from what we see, and maybe it's in the comics and I never read it and I don't know, but it just feels like Palpatine never had that conversation with Darth Maul, Dooku, or Anakin that I'm going to give you all of my knowledge, and when it is time, because I am weak, you are going to kill me and take over. Because Bane lived and breathed that mantra of, you're going to earn to kill me and I'll be proud, and you'll continue on with the Sith, and you'll be the reason why we destroy the Jedi. Where Palpatine was selfish, that he wanted to keep his power and never die.
Right.
So that's why I think, to your point, Val, Darth Vader is that way, because I don't think Anakin or Dooku or Maul knew anything about the rule of two
I
or
think
what it meant.
Dooku knew. I think Dooku had more of an education of the Jedi and the Sith. He had to have known. Maul, I would say, because in Clone Wars and Rebels, Maul comes from a race of, I can't think of their name.
Zabraks?
Yeah, I don't think his education on that side would be there. He would be more so being like a tool. But I think Dooku had some kind of idea, and I think Anakin eventually learns. I would give Anakin that much credit, because he's not an idiot. He's just easily
Also,
manipulated.
speaking of Maul, we are more than likely going to get that fight.
I think we definitely, well, in I don't know if it was in Rebels or Clone Wars.
It was in
but
Rebels that they alluded that that fight in Rebels is the second fight after their first fight with
when
yes.
it's old man
Right.
Obi-Wan.
Because Maul goes on a rampage to try to go after Obi-Wan, and he takes over the Mandalorian space, and he goes in, but and he also realizes where he fucked up, and he kind of was like,
Ray Park back, let's go.
Yeah, because I think that would make sense, because if you've seen Han Solo, we know that Han Solo takes place before Obi-Wan. We know that Darth Maul is one, and then we have Spice involved in this too.
But do we really think that we would get both a Obi-Wan Darth Maul duel and an Obi-Wan Anakin thing confrontation?
We're not getting an Anakin.
We're not.
I don't think. I think.
Is that confirmed?
I don't think it wouldn't make sense, because
so Anakin's supposed to show up. Like
yes.
we're gonna see, but
I think we see him show up, and Ahsoka deals with him. I think we get a cameo of Ahsoka to deal with Anakin, and I think Maul is who we're going to see Obi fight. Personally, that's not confirmed. It only makes sense to me, because in A New Hope.
In A New Hope, I was gonna say in A New Hope, when Obi-Wan fights Darth Vader, is that a continuation?
That's the first time they see each other. They allude to that being the first time they see each other since so and so whatever.
Right.
And he's been waiting so long, and now I'm the master kind of thing, right? And Obi-Wan was ready to let go.
And we are now seeing in the show that he just realized 10 years later that, oh shit, he's still alive.
Correct.
Yeah, Obi-Wan just found out that Anakin's alive.
And from this point to A New Hope, that's about 9-10 years away. So I think this series is him getting away from him. Ahsoka steps in and prevents him from being able to catch Obi-Wan at some point. This is where I'm guessing it's going to go, because I'm a Ahsoka fan. And I think that eventually Obi-Wan finds his way back to where Luke is, to make sure he continues to watch over him to protect the kid. Ideally, I don't think he's going to cross paths with Anakin in this series. I think it's going to allude to it, and it's going to be Ahsoka who ends up crossing paths with him.
Yeah, I can already see fans getting upset, because they're going to be like, "Oh, I want to see him cross," but it's like, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense
right?
to do
it
so.
Doesn't.
Yeah, no, they're fighting.
Deborah Chow, the fans need to shut up.
No. Deborah Chow confirmed that we definitely see Obi-Wan and Darth Vader get into it again. Like, they're gonna fight. Yeah, it's gonna.
How are they bringing that? Unless I don't know how that comes about though, because then it wouldn't make sense.
Also,
I gotta rewatch.
Tone, while you are the resident expert on the panel today, who was that? I keep seeing like on articles, someone died who wasn't supposed to die, and now it threw a monkey wrench in some of the.
The Grand Inquisitor. Because
he doesn't die.
But everyone thinks he doesn't die. He just gets stabbed because he's in Rebels, and Rebels happens after this.
Yeah,
because the Inquisitor you see in Rebels is that same dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's not.
I don't think he's dead.
He just got shanked. You know.
Yeah. She just turned against him.
I want to know what Obi-Wan did that she's so mad, because the whole time I'm like,
abandoned her.
Yo, she's pissed.
Abandoned her.
Yeah. I'm thinking that too.
So remember, I think it's that, and also, so you have remember the young. So in episode 3, Obi-Wan does the message to tell people to not go to the Jedi Temple.
Right.
It's his message that tells Jedi and everyone else, do not come
run.
To run, don't show up. So it's essentially his fault that like there's no one saving the younglings.
Yeah.
And you know, and all that. And she probably got in because the
Grand probably was a youngling.
Because the Grand Inquisitor is
she's the one of the younglings in the very beginning that they show when they're executing Order 66, and they're trained, the younglings in that room. When they escape, the one who says, "What do we do now? We run." She's the one who says, "We run," and goes off. That's I believe she's the same character.
Yeah. I mean, you don't pan in on the little black girl and then you pan out to the adult black woman. Like
she's definitely that character, and they're running to avoid getting captured, and Order 66 is being implemented right in the middle of it. I doubt they got away, and if she did, she had to probably turn against everything she's been learning, and now
I'm glad that they're so through the shows and through a lot of the other stuff that we've seen, that Order 66 didn't eliminate everybody but Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? Because that's and then Yoda, because that's what it felt like when we watched those movies.
If you watch I don't know if you played any of the video games, but Fallen Order is so good, and you see this character.
I heard that's also canon, right?
Yeah,
it is. It's such a good video game, and you see this character.
Did you
Who's Emperor
amazing.
Google?
I don't know, but I love them already.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I think that it's. I forgot my thought, but Fallen Order. Fallen Order gives you an idea of some of the Jedi's who got away. Also in Bad Batch, you also see where their struggle, the clone army, to go against Jedi's who aren't exactly like, this is not what we were trained to do all these years. Wow.
Not yet.
Wow. First of all, I am never problematic. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not being problematic.
Not yet. Not yet.
What do you mean not yet? First of all, never.
Listen, we're an hour in. You're due for it at some point.
What?
What do you say?
What?
Okay. Oh, you're saying why not? And I was like, because Sony Marvel hasn't come up into the conversation.
Yo.
I mean, you can watch Morbius on Twitch all you want. It's been rolling, you know?
Listen, Morbius wasn't that bad. I'm just telling you that Morbius wasn't as bad as we've had with others, and it's worth a watch. Okay? It's Jared Leto did an amazing job as Morbius.
The guys over there at what's it called? Honest Trailers begs to differ.
I don't care what they say. The story sucked. The story wasn't great. However,
what's up, Vic?
What's up, Vic?
It's shown somewhere
that who fights each other?
So it's Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yes, they have. So they haven't fought each other, and I think what the show is trying to do is, because since Obi-Wan hasn't used the Force in 10 years, they pan out. He used the Force to pick up Leia, and then we cut away to the Bacta tank, and Anakin opens his eyes. He's like, "That son of a bitch."
Right. But in New Hope, he doesn't specify a time frame. He more so says, I haven't felt this presence in so long, kind of thing. Maybe they do fight and he thinks he got his revenge and it didn't happen. in this series. Maybe we see that, and he probably got away, or thought he
After
killed
these
them and
6
didn't.
episodes, that's it, right? We're not supposed to be getting another season of this.
Of what?
I don't think so.
No. This is
No.
a mini series, and it's literally just, and I think it's giving us more
I
Ewan
think it's
McGregor,
supposed
which
to
is
give us more,
which I'm
lead us
always here
to.
for.
ain't
and
nothing wrong with
for-
that, right?
Listen, and Hayden Christensen, like I'm all here for that.
What I thought was cool was that the actress that played the spice dealer is actually Ewan McGregor's daughter.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, that's dope. You get to act opposite of your father, do this whole scene. Like, yeah, I'm giving my dad drugs in this scene.
Also,
Also,
Taron Egerton, who played Luke's uncle, is
the
playing
same
him.
one
Yep.
as Owen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I also was super happy to see this dude who was in Eternals. What's his name? That he was the fake Jedi. He was so entertaining. What's his name? I can't even think of his name.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's great.
Yes. I loved him. And I thought he was going to turn against them and give them away. However, I think that he's living up to what he
Also,
thinks
we
a
went
Jedi
into
should
this
be, even though
hot
he's
with
not.
no spoiler warnings, by the way.
It's fine.
It's
Oh,
fine.
we totally,
Oh,
yeah.
It's fine. There were no
It's
big
fine.
reveals here.
No,
I'm saving my spoiler
no, it's
warnings for
still a-
like legit shit, man. I'm
First of all, it's still a spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't watched.
Listen, if they're
Oh,
if you're watching,
what
All right,
we'll do is
listen,
we'll
listen.
separate spoiler duties.
Listen.
Tone will do the big ones. Val will do the other. Just
No,
in case.
listen,
just in case
listen.
it's,
First of all,
Okay, Val,
the
the
people
small
who
fry.
hang,
I'm not a spoiler warner.
the people who hang out with us,
They
like
know
fully
we're gonna
know.
talk about
All
it.
right, I mean,
True.
we're not at that point where we just got a bunch of randos coming in saying you spoiled it for me. And if we get to that point, kudos to us. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Right.
All right, everyone who joins on their weekly dosage of the nerds know that we don't pull punches when it comes to spoilers.
Yeah.
We won't do
we're
leaks.
talking.
We won't do leaks, but we will do spoilers.
Man,
Some leaks.
God, I love this show.
Some leaks.
listen, it's. Can we have-
Right. Did anyone watch
Yep.
Stranger Things?
I've watched the
Chef's
first
kiss.
2 episodes.
Not yet.
So good.
Okay.
Not
I'm
yet.
not gonna talk about it.
How
Google
can
said.
say open to another season.
I will take more Ewan McGregor with a
Please.
I think we're-
lightsaber.
yes.
You can just
Wait,
put that
Even
in
if it
IV.
pops up in
What did he
Ahsoka.
just say?
Hold on.
Can you put that back up?
The Emperor of Google has spoken.
So, is he referring to Cal from the video game?
Yes.
Okay,
so
great.
Cal
Is in Fallen Order,
Yes.
right? Which I loved his
Bro.
character.
Bro, it's so fucking good. It is so
Wait,
good.
what did we just switch to? Right
we're
now?
talking
Okay,
about
okay.
Real quick pivot.
I can't even say
No,
that.
About it right
I'm
now.
only on episode
No,
5.
yo,
I've got 2
yo,
more episodes.
if they-
I will
season.
end the
I'm
episode
not
right now.
gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say. I won't do it to you. No, it's fine. It's fine. That's later when we talk
It
about it.
is good though.
If they stick the landing and at the route they are going, they are gonna stick this fucking landing.
Yeah.
This will
it's
be
so
like
good.
the best show
Ah,
I've ever seen. Yes.
You're
yes.
an exaggerator,
I am
bro.
not
Really,
exaggerating.
really, the best show
Yes,
you've ever
yes.
seen.
Yes.
For
Yes.
Absolutely
Tone
not.
for Tone to say
Yes.
that, he doesn't.
It
He
was
doesn't,
probably
he
the
doesn't
best
throw
show
that
on
around
Netflix.
willy nilly.
There's a few like
Maybe
really,
the best show on Netflix. However,
Wow.
the best show you've ever seen.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I can't take your opinion straight. You go see Sony movies. Please stop.
I do go
Please.
see Sony movies. That doesn't mean I'm gonna tag it as the best thing I've ever
She
seen.
started. She's starting up.
Here we go. Oh wow! First of all, I'm not problematic.
I can't with you, man. You're in
All
episode
I'm
5.
saying-
You're in episode
Yes,
5.
Yes, 5.
You watched episode 4, and you get to sit here and tell me
It was
this shit
freaking
isn't
great.
This shit
It
isn't
was
amazing.
freaking great, but I wouldn't say it's the best thing I've ever seen. Are you serious?
What's the best thing you ever seen then? What's the best live action show you've ever seen?
Let me think on that one.
Coño, man.
Oh my god!
Give me a second. I gotta think on that one.
Yo, I am dead.
Honestly,
That was
up
great.
until the last few seasons, Game of Thrones is probably one of the best shows I've ever seen.
See, but that's the thing. I can't say it's
however-
the best show because
If you're telling me
Hold
if
on.
I've ever
Hold on.
seen,
Good.
Yes.
listen,
All
I'm
listen,
saying is,
listen. We can no longer talk about Game of Thrones being the best show I've ever seen. Game of Thrones has some of the best seasons of television I have ever seen. Seasons 1, 2, 3, 4 are perfect. Season 3, the way with the red wedding, incredible. But I can no longer say it's the best show ever because they fucked up the landing. Like,
I understand that.
you missed
I
you
understand
missed
that.
it, and you
I
landed
agree.
on a fucking iron plate like an Armageddon. You missed it.
However, for you to sit here and say Stranger Things is the best thing you've ever seen,
One of the best things I've ever seen. Yes, I will say that. Yeah, if they stick the
one
landing.
of the best things in Netflix, I would agree to.
Like, you're gonna get to that last episode. You're gonna get
Okay.
you get another big ass reveal.
Okay, so
there's
you
some-
know what?
there's
I'll
some
save my
fantastic-
opinion
there's
until
some
I see the
fantastic
Yo,
cinematography.
me and Seabass are just like,
Right? And then
Sorry, guys.
the fact of the matter is that we have like super long episodes because they are not afraid to give us content.
It's so good though. I'm not
right?
even gonna say it is so freaking good. But we kind of digress on it because
Yes.
we're not talking about Stranger Things this week.
No, we're not.
No, we tackle all the.
when are we talking?
No, we're
when?
not because
I'm saying when
Seabass
are we
isn't
talking
current.
about?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen,
Okay?
it's been great. What I didn't say I didn't say it's bad. I didn't say it's not great. I didn't say it's not amazing. What I said is the best thing ever.
We're gonna throw the gauntlet out there to Steady. You wanna come on and talk about the Stranger Things episode when we talk about it?
Yeah, I need to meet this guy who's calling me problematic because what's up, bro? Nah.
We'll let you plug your
If
Twitch
you want to
channel.
meet him IRL, he lives around the way. Like,
Oh, does he?
Yes, lives around the block.
See me, son. Nah, let me stop.
I'm sure you've walked past them on Fordham Road or something.
Probably, I don't know.
Absolutely. She's a new co-host.
She's here. She's permanent fixture
Excuse
now.
me, I'm not going nowhere. What you talking about? Let me stop.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
Listen.
obviously.
You know, me and Seabass and Law tend to kind of agree on a lot of things. So Val coming in, and
I
coming in with some
love
hot takes,
adding the different.
you know,
this
it's
is
great. It's
Oh,
great. They're wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Wow.
Unfollowed.
Okay, now he's hurting my
But
feelings.
I appreciate it nonetheless.
See, I would have watched it this weekend, but I actually the first time broke the grill in and cooked some
You
burgers on the
sniffing
grill.
coke? Like, what is this?
What was that? I
Yeah,
don't know.
the first time
Hey.
this weekend, you know.
Smell that burger meat.
What the hell?
We had a great nerdy weekend. We had a great nerdy weekend.
We did.
Going
We
to the grill.
did.
Told
I-
did the wings on Monday. It was like the wings were awesome. Ooh, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway.
that was the fourth.
So,
that was
Yeah,
the-
rub the salt in the wound.
I
Thanks.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know when we're talking Stranger Things. You guys need to watch
on
it.
board.
I'll be caught up.
I will
Hopefully by the end of
say
the week.
I think it's worth it for us to do 2 episodes, like for
Yeah.
the first run, episodes 1 through 7, because episodes 8 and 9, it's 4 hours
It's
of
gonna be
content.
like a movie. Yeah,
It's 4 hours of content. The last episode is 2.5
it's gonna
hours.
be so good. So good. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
So
This season's been really, really, really good. I can't. You guys got to go. I can't even.
Listen, I told you, I watched the first 2 episodes. I literally just have been like with family the entire weekend, so
I can't even say too much because Seabass is not caught up. But back to Obi-Wan. Can we got to
Yeah,
go
let's
back
go.
to
How
Obi-Wan.
far behind are you, Seabass?
I haven't started it.
you've seen seasons 1 through 3 though. You saw season 3,
Oh,
right?
I saw season 3. I saw the first 3 seasons of Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. You
Okay.
said I haven't started. I was like, bro, we've done
What?
Stranger Things episodes before. Like, what are we talking about? Like, like,
It just got there's so much content dropping, and then we still got
I know. Boys is coming out this weekend, no? Or is it next weekend?
June 22nd.
Yeah,
we got a little bit of time, but
No, I thought I saw June 3rd.
and then the anime list that dropped because
something else
Overlord is
dropping,
coming back.
this week. Hold on.
Watching Spy.
No, The Boys comes out this weekend.
Oh, you're right. No, I'm sorry. The Boys is
June
June
3rd.
Yep.
Guys, come on. I
bad.
got
Oh,
some
and then-
kind of nerd knowledge.
My bad. You're right. June 3rd. We get the first 3 episodes.
I don't look at dates. I just get surprised.
I can't do that. I'll overlook it.
Which means knowing Amazon, Amazon releases their stuff the day before, so you should be able to watch it on Thursday because that's how it was with season 2.
That's also how it was with Invincible too, but
I think all their
Vox
stuff.
Machina.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Vox Machina was good.
Yeah, so they dropped theirs.
It dropped for us like 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
you got to watch that one because you're gonna love the Bard. The Bard is the best person in the group. That's it.
I haven't seen it.
Skeleton heads.
that's good animation. That's good time.
Another good animation.
So
What's
Obi-Wan.
Umbrella Academy is the 22nd.
That's another one that comes out at the end of the month. Yes,
Yeah,
Umbrella Academy is the
Guys,
next
we
one.
got a lot of content we're gonna be
We
talking
got a
about.
lot.
These
We gotta
Star
keep
Wars,
track.
Our episodes are gonna be an hour and a
anime.
half by minimum for the next like at least 6 weeks.
Well, because the
summer-
next
summer
week
of
is
nerds.
going to be Obi-Wan episode 3, and then I don't. And I guess
Are we doing anything on the boys?
we can decide. So like how we did season 2, we did the first half and the second half because I didn't care how
You
they
gotta
broke.
let me know because I kind of
Yeah.
have to finish season 2.
You should finish season 2.
Yeah,
I know I have to.
there
I
you
will
go.
say,
Homework.
like, we didn't like how it came out week to week, but how season 2 ended was
Yeah, no, it
fucking
wasn't. So the
bonkers.
week to week thing, I got over because I'm just annoyed that now everyone's back to week to week. We went from binging to week to
Because
week.
Netflix spoiled us.
I was like,
that's
fuck,
what it
man.
is. This is reality. This is how you keep
so,
people tied into your app.
I know. I get it. Like business wise, I get it. As a consumer, I don't like it, but
I get it.
right?
I get it.
So I did feel that
season 3 is
with
gonna be
season
8 episodes.
Yeah, but what I felt with season 2 was that a lot of the episodes weren't good for week to week because they just didn't like have those impacts.
That's why I fell off.
And
the then I didn't go back to it.
Like the second to last episode, like that episode was like, holy crap, I cannot wait. But there were a lot of episodes, like the middle episodes of season 2 for the boys, they would end and be like, I gotta wait a week now. Like, and that was annoying.
I know.
So that was a bummer. But hopefully they do that. And I don't know when we're getting Herogasm. I'm sure that'll be in the middle somewhere.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
It's we'll educate you what Herogasm is because the comic was Tone's
Tone literally just plopped down his tablet and was like, gather around, children.
Okay.
Papa Tone had something to show you.
Yeah, that comic was nuts.
Got it.
Bro.
But yeah, for Obi-Wan, what do we
Good
see
stuff.
coming or our predictions for this season?
I hope we get Anakin tomorrow. I do not don't dangle Hayden Christensen Darth Vader as a cliffhanger to an episode and not give me Darth Vader
the very next episode
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I better get some Darth Vader tomorrow.
Do you guys think that we're gonna see the beginnings of the Rebel Alliance here too because of the fact that this guy was telling him to go to this place? He was trying to tell Obi-Wan to go to this place. There's people.
I think the Rebel Alliance already exists here, but it's probably on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
And it probably started with Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy's a part of it.
Jimmy's definitely a part of it. He has to be. I mean, he tries to slowly get people involved, but I think he's gauging by what he's saying how people respond because he's trying to be very diplomatic about it. And you see that when he's talking to his family, and how he was shut down.
Yeah. Jimmy, if you only were not on the planet when it blew up.
It sucks because like that's the greenest planet in all of Star Wars. It's Alderaan.
No, it's not. It's not the greenest. What's the ones that Ewoks are on?
Oh, you're right. Endor is very green, and Kashyyyk is very green too. But I know Alderaan is.
But Alderaan's the one you want the real estate on.
Yeah,
Alderaan is the rich people.
You want to have an Airbnb there.
First of all, hold on, Kashyyyk. The Wookiees have a very they have a very advanced technology, a very advanced. From what I read in the Legends books so far, the way they explain their city and they may seem like a primitive creature, but they're very advanced and higher than you would think.
I think the Ewoks are more primitive.
Yeah, Ewoks are definitely more primitive than Kashyyyk. I would like to see Kashyyyk.
We saw Kashyyyk.
Here's the question.
Where?
Episode 3.
No.
Yes.
That's Yoda's.
Oh, we do. That's right. He does go to. Okay. All right. Sorry, I take it back.
Now, unfortunately, you don't see the dense forests.
No, you don't see it.
You see the beachhead
them fighting.
You see the beachhead, but in the Old Republic games, when you go to Kashyyyk, you're on the village is like in the trees. It's literally like the redwoods, and like you're in the trees, and then there's the under tree, the Underdark, essentially.
Right. That's how I pictured when I was reading the Thrawn trilogy, and they send the assassins to go after them, and they're hiding Leia out with Kashyyyk when she was pregnant. How I picture it is these large, very, very thick, big trees in the sky, like higher than the clouds, and
that's true. Naboo got money.
Yep.
Yes.
Naboo's got money.
Naboo definitely got money.
Naboo got money. That's where Emperor Google comes from. He comes from Naboo.
I don't know about that. He looks more like he's a Sith.
No, that's dead ass where Palpatine's from.
He's from the
Right. Well, Palpatine. Yeah, you're right. Blonde moment. Blonde moment.
I got the $1 million question. I got the $1 million question. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do see. There's a part of one of the comics where you see, it's just after he becomes Darth Vader, a little bit after he's meditating, and there's a whole scene of him like learning, to embrace the dark powers that he's gotten and reflect on what's happened. Da da da. I think we're gonna see that part in for Hayden.
That could be. I think you're going to see, if they show more of Hayden, we'll see more of an in-depth struggle in himself of what he's done and what he's lost compared to what he's gained. I hope they would give us a little bit more of that, not too much to focus. I don't want them, but for 6 episodes and we're not getting no Luke, there's no reason for them to do that. We've got to see some more of a Hayden in there. So I hope it's not.
I think we have to, because you brought him back.
Yeah.
You didn't bring him back to just put unless you did, right? Unless you did to bring the guy to put him in the suit to then speak, and it's not his voice. Like, granted,
I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think I would hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
I think we will see a lot more, some new flashbacks that we may not have seen before of their relationship, their brotherhood. Things maybe that we've seen in Clone Wars that we haven't seen in live action. I would love to see.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. Because their relationship in Clone Wars animated series, you see a lot more of what they've gone through together and how they grew as Jedi, and him being a master and apprentice. I would love to see more of the Clone Wars in live action. That would be really dope.
I would assume watching Clone Wars makes their fallout more traumatic.
Absolutely.
Versus going from episodes 2 to 3, because there's a 10-year difference gap between the two.
If you've never seen the Clone Wars animated series, you definitely should watch. I mean, it definitely gives you.
My Bear's been asking me to watch it, so we're probably gonna watch it.
It's so good. It's so good, and they did a really good job in tying in that series. And
did you watch it? Did you watch it episode to episode, season?
No,
or did you do chronologically? Because I know people talk about watching Clone Wars chronologically versus watching it how the season runs, because they're off.
No, I watched it as the season runs.
Okay, you watched release date.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I went through it over pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Recently, and then I went straight into Rebels right after.
No, we talked about him. You weren't here,
just got
sir.
Here late, sir.
We talked about Tamura Morrison.
You missed it,
and how he was part of the 501st and how he was part of Anakin's group that killed all the kids. We talked about that.
Yep, and how they were just.
You gotta go back on demand, Seti. You gotta go back on demand. So here's the $1 million question that I've been waiting to ask. Since we're getting all this stuff, and I sent you guys the thing of where everything's taking place in the Star Wars universe, where the fuck does the Ewok movies take place?
I can't with you. Why, sir? Why?
Thank you.
Why? It's not necessary to talk about the Ewok movie. Next question.
Why do you do this yourself?
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Did we not have Boba Fett say that he wrote already something that was in the trash Star Wars Christmas movie?
No, I know that. I mean, it was just funny. The line is funny. I've written beasts bigger than this. It's like, okay, Boba, because of that stupid Christmas special that I've never seen. But I know of him. I know of him riding the dinosaur.
Right.
I had the mispleasure of seeing that, and I would not recommend it to anybody.
I think I'm gonna watch it just because I need to see everything.
Listen, the first
yes,
5.
You
no,
do.
No. I will save you this, Val, because the first 15 minutes of the movies is nothing but Chewbacca's family just speaking Wookiee with no subtitles, and his Wookiee father-in-law or his father is looking at Wookiee porn or something like that. I don't know how this made it equivalent to whatever Wookiee porn is. It's like, I'm like, how did this get greenlit?
No.
I don't
How
know.
did it get greenlit? It was so like everybody goes like the new trilogy is bad for Star Wars. No, watch the Star Wars Christmas movie and you would appreciate the new trilogy. That's how bad that. They have a singing number in it. They sing in it. It's
It's
bad.
odd.
I ain't watching
It's
that shit.
Okay. He said, I ain't watching that shit.
it's burned in my head
Mm.
forever, and I cannot get it out. It's just so bad.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'll watch. I'm
So,
good.
did anyone hear the news about Ahsoka's show? They showed who's gonna play Sabine.
Yeah.
They
And
did,
we're
yes.
also gonna get Ezra and what's her
That's
name?
what Morales has been waiting for. She's been waiting
Oh,
for Ezra.
they confirmed Ezra.
They teased him. They showed the back of his head and they didn't release it, but it was to the people at the convention.
Yeah, typical.
And so we're gonna get an Ezra. We're also gonna get what's her name? The green
That's Green Twi'lek.
yes.
But they
what's her
showed.
name?
They know they
And-
showed.
and-
I know they showed the R2 unit. I know they showed that.
yes. You're gonna make me
I'm
Google it.
gonna issue Steady a challenge
Yes,
because after that
Ezra.
comment, Steady, I dare you to watch the Star Wars Christmas special. I double dog dare you, and then
Oh,
come back
man.
to me and say that anything's better than the new trilogy. I dare you. Watch it on a stream or something like that. What's your reaction?
Just don't watch it. Just don't.
Did you not see?
Oh,
the
Hera. Oh,
Hera. Yes, Hera. She's confirmed. She's gonna be. She was casted. Ezra was casted. They released who's playing Sabine, and the droid is gonna be in there as well. So
Yep.
Ahsoka's series is going to be Liddy. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
And
I
if
mean,
you watch,
they're doing Thrawn, right? I'm assuming.
yeah, she's on the path of looking for Thrawn, according to what we saw in Mandalorian.
So is it? So it's okay. So it's taking place out. Yeah, because it's taking place after Rebel. Okay.
Right. It's taking place after Rebels, so it'll allow us to see what happened at the end of Rebels.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this. And Rebels was very, very good. It's another one that if you haven't watched, you must watch.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I'm on season 2 of Rebels.
Oh, it's so good.
I was enjoying it.
It's a great time to be a geek fan of all your favorite stuff because content
guys are
is
like-
dropping out left and right.
Let's shut Valerie up now. Okay,
No,
I get it.
no.
You didn't mention Morbius this episode.
We're talking Star Wars. There's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like I'm getting a side eye. Sorry, Val. No, I mean this is a great time. I definitely want to say this is the summer of nerd because there's just a lot of stuff dropping. I mean, we just opened it up with Star Wars. We still have Miss Marvel. We still have She-Hulk. We got just a
Very
lot of content.
excited for Miss Marvel.
And we haven't even touched on anime that's going to drop. I'm excited that Overlord is coming back for its next season and a movie. I'm like, oh my
so
god!
much is coming out anime wise this season. Oh man.
Yeah.
Even Star Wars is
Law
getting
is
on
our
there.
resident. The spice. I agree. I would hope that we don't see them again. She might come back to help because that was Ahsoka's friend. I guess.
Didn't they confirm that what's her face, Amelia Clark, is supposed to come back at some point? Her character.
Chopper is the droid.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Kira?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. She's doing Secret Invasion. I don't know what she's doing.
It's not playing with dragons anymore. That's for sure. But this has been another great episode of Nerds. I mean, we're going to be talking about more Star Wars next week. So it'll be fun. May sprinkle another topic in there if we can.
We may talk about the boys episodes. Well, I'm sure we will because I'm hoping we probably will.
Yeah, I'm gonna get caught up. I'm finishing Stranger Things, and I've got to get caught up with the boys to be ready for the new season to start.
We might touch up on Stranger Things next week. We might not.
No, Stranger Things needs like its own. If we do Stranger Things, we need to do like it's a break episode where you put the 5-minute dance party break, and then we talk about.
I'll put the 5 minutes dance party break.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a Nerds dance party when it comes on. That's it.
We'll have Steady come on.
It's a Nerds dance party.
He can. Also, we gotta have Pong on soon, right? Isn't he due for an episode?
Yes, I need my
3 or
fellow.
4.
So Pong is with me with the whole Sony thing. So I
we
need
still
Pong.
clown on both of you for it.
I'll take it.
Misery
I'll
loves
take it.
company, apparently.
Wow, Misery. Wow.
Listen.
The hell.
Seabass watches and recommends shitty anime. and you watch and recommend Sony Marvel movies. We
Okay,
all have,
hold
we
on.
all
That's
have
not what
our
I said.
place in the world.
That is not what I said. I said I would still watch the Sony movies. I did not recommend anyone.
Listen, you recommend someone one bad episode that we're supposed to do to cover bad anime, and you're instantly the person. Someone has to watch all the shitty shit.
Seabass.
No one, no, you don't.
It's not one. It
That
was
is
not one.
That's not your cross to bear.
There-
That's
no,
what shouldn't be
I
cross to
bear
bear.
that cross. I
we
take
do
it.
one episode a week. There's no need to watch
Listen,
stuff that's
listen.
not worth the time.
I take that cross. I will.
Listen,
I will.
instead of watching
And then we
shitty
watch
anime, watch good stuff.
Shitty horror movies.
Someone
you
needs to
know?
watch it.
No
Someone
one-
got to cover it.
No,
No,
not
we're
us.
not talking
I'm
about it.
saving you guys.
No, because there's no one in this comment that's saying watch the shitty anime.
Nope.
No,
No
everyone's
one
like
asked for
watch
it.
the good stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff. You know? Listen, there's a couple things people in our comments say. Aurelius has been waiting for Mojo since the dawn of time, and you know, and hopefully, you know, we'll get them. So you know that comes true. But no
We're
one is
getting
talking,
Ezra.
No one. We're getting Ezra. That's true. But no one is talking about the shitty anime that you watch on a daily basis.
It's not on a daily basis.
It's every other day.
It's
It'll be like
every
no.
3
It'll
days,
be
every
like
3
yo.
days,
Did you?
every
Did
3
you?
days.
It'll be like yo. Did you watch this or did you do this? No, I was watching this other random anime on Crunchyroll because you know. Like whatever.
Instead of
dude.
watching good shit,
Because it has fan
Hasn't
service
started
or a lot
Stranger
of gore.
Things.
I mean, that's but that's him and Jesse need to watch it because I think you guys watch it together, right? That's a
Yeah.
you and Jesse show.
It is, and that so
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So,
I was
but
mad
I'm
at
sure if you told Jesse let's
And,
watch it, she would watch it. So
Well,
it's really
right
it's still,
now we're trying to finish with the circle on the last episode of the 4th season of the circle. It's great if you need trash TV recommendations. The circle is a recommendation. And
I don't watch reality TV.
I watch them.
Kinda,
I don't recommend them.
and we kind of
Oh,
well, we
Jesus.
do blame you, Tone.
Is this a reality
No.
show? Is this a reality show?
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Netflix has some of the best shitty reality TV.
I am
I
an
don't-
Emperor
I don't do
Google.
But it doesn't. But
I don't do
shitty,
reality
but
shows.
shitty reality TV does not supersede good content. So
It doesn't.
We'll
That's the
talk
thing.
shit. These shit.
There's so much good shit to watch that I don't have time to watch shitty reality.
Fucking thank you. Yeah.
I just
Nice
do.
job.
no,
We
it's
we
okay.
sometimes
no one's telling
sometimes
you
you
to
need
watch it.
so well you did.
But you got
recommend
time to see Sony Marvel movies.
I do. And I went to the movies to see it. Absolutely. Because it's
I know.
Marvel.
Oh my god!
Just like I would watch the Fox Marvel movies, just like I would watch any Marvel has my money. Period.
that.
I'm offended. Problematic? Really?
Oh my god! Man.
Problematic?
Oh man,
Mm.
this has been another great episode of Nerds. We want to thank
This was
everyone
so
for
much fun.
watch. It's always fun.
Oh my
Like I said,
God.
it is fun.
Guys,
it is,
you can-
it is good banter having Val on and
You
and-
guys
and,
love
know.
me.
You
I
bring
know y'all
something-
love
You definitely
me.
bring something new to this energy of fucking boys.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes, it is because it'd just be us talking
You
about.
know who I
nonsense.
don't argue with? Law.
Not yet.
Law lets me argue as his proxy because he agrees with me.
There's very few things I disagree with anybody
Wow.
on.
Listen,
Peacemaker might have been the only time me and Tone were like, what? But I'm pretty much like, you know, most.
I am
And
the neutral
Peacemaker
one.
was out of principle because of what DC has done to you.
Right. No, I mean, it wasn't a bad. I gave it a shot, and it wasn't bad.
Steady. I just couldn't get into it, sir.
If-
I just couldn't. I couldn't. I love that you want me to love that show, and I know that I love the music. I just don't love the show. I couldn't
Said
get
You don't
into it.
like
greatest
Samurai Champloo?
anime of all time.
Well,
Is he
not greatest
kidding?
of all time, but shots fired at Val coming for steady. I'm instigating that. This is gonna be a fun
I don't
episode.
know,
with
man.
Phillip.
I'm not coming
I'm
for He's been coming for me for
also,
weeks.
It's hard to pick like a GOAT anime because there's.
It's hard. There's a lot of good
yeah,
ones.
It's easier to do
For me,
Mount
it's
Rushmore
definitely just
conversation than it is to do
Naruto. I
GOAT
love that.
conversation.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore is a way easier conversation than GOAT. And even then, like, you know, it'll be like, well, your picks are mainstream. I'm like, all right, well, fuck off. Like, who
I mean, yeah.
cares?
Wait. It's that argument where can Goku beat him?
Fuck out of here.
Yo, you gotta learn about this protagonist. You know, he got all these powers, and then out of nowhere, but can Goku beat him?
Can he beat Goku?
Naruto or Luffy.
Goku about to throw hands.
That's people always gotta. I don't know. There's always options.
That's why I was like, I hate Dragon Ball. And fucking
beat Goku with a map.
you could beat Goku with a paper bag. That's what you can beat him with.
Oh man,
Couldn't find his way out of that shit. Yeah, my disdain for Goku. There you go. So that will be official right here. Nerd Sebastian's disdain for Goku in so many different ways.
You don't like Goku?
I don't hate Goku. I think Goku is like
he's the worst written fucking character.
No. Goku.
It should have went to Gohan. Gohan is the GOAT of
Goku
that series.
Goku is an idiot, but Goku, you can't not say that Goku is a pillar.
Goku is the type of dude.
Wait a minute, Law.
It's Law. That's
Law. I need to hear you, Law. I need to hear you, Law.
Goku is this type of dude that would stick his dick in a plug.
Sometimes Law just likes to be in the back with his popcorn. So, you know, I removed myself to just watch you guys argue. It's fun.
Listen, you can hate. You can hate. We can hate Goku.
I don't hate Goku.
You can say he has no development, which is true. Right?
He is an idiot.
But you cannot deny the fact that Goku and some of these Dragon Ball Z characters are pillars of anime.
Do you remember Mortal Kombat?
You know,
remember Mortal Kombat movie?
Listen, Thomas Jefferson
that's Goku's power.
He's still
Goku's power.
Jefferson.
His power is plot armor. That's what it's just like. Let's give Goku the most powerful power now. Dude. He's gonna go Super Saiyan, Mega Sword.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But you can't. You're gonna sit here and tell me that when you were a kid watching anime, you were like, I can't wait to see Super Saiyan level 7.
No, I couldn't wait to see
started
because
you can't even deny it.
We all started.
I turned off Dragon Ball. I was that person that I got annoyed with Dragon. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't. You got everybody wanted to draw Dragon Ball characters. I was like, nah, give me Tenchi Muyo. I'm good.
I can't. I'm just like, listen.
I'm confused with that statement.
What statement?
All of us grew up on our early stages of us in America getting anime was Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon on Channel 11 at 6 a.m.
Armitage III, Ghost in the Shell.
Was that on public television? Stop right there. Stop right there.
Again,
stop
this is all true. That Namek arc, man.
It's right, absolutely. It drove me crazy.
I'm probably the one person.
Its planet supposed to blow up in 90 seconds, and I got 20 episodes of dudes yelling at each other.
Yes. All day long.
Vampire Hunter D.
Vampire Hunter D.
Listen, I was hunting for anime on VHS tapes. You had Guyver.
Me too. Dragon Ball Z was one of the first ones I watched because I watched it on my dad brought them home before Toonami. So Dragon Ball Z, Guyver, Vampire Hunter D, like all that shit. I saw them all, but to say you cannot deny what Dragon Ball Z has done for anime. That's it. That is all I'm saying.
Agreed.
That's it.
It's done this for anime. It's like, can it be Goku?
No, those are just fanboys who can't have a conversation about other anime characters
because they don't know them
with the power scale, the ridiculous exponential power scaling that is anime.
Yeah, it was Dragon Ball Z, fucking Yu Yu Hakusho, Ronin Warriors, Tenchi Muyo, and all that. Yeah, where it started kind of on Channel 9 or what have you. Toonami really was like for my generation.
Prior to Toonami, though, again, I'm showing my age here. However, public television before cable, all we had was Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I remember being at my mom's job, watching Sailor Moon and DBZ on repeat because that's what they had for after school specials.
Yeah,
We can have all the grief, all the gripes you want about Goku, and they're all valid. But you can't take away him in that pillar. You just can't. Like
fucking Goku.
Agreed.
That's all I'm
Fuck that
saying.
guy.
Agreed.
That's it. You know?
Fuck that guy.
And the undeniable fact that Piccolo was Gohan's father. Like those are the two things.
Yeah, Piccolo is Gohan's father.
King Fu?
This Channel 11 What?
Kung Fu.
Oh.
David Carradine.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, a lot of adults still love Goku for their own personal reasons. I don't follow Dragon Ball Z anymore. I haven't in a long time.
Listen, if I want to love any Saiyan,
Or
it's
Dragon
Vegeta.
Ball Super, I think it is now.
It's Vegeta, and that's about it. That's as far as I go.
It's funny.
Because I love Vegeta. Because he's just
It's
an angry
great.
little man.
Trunks
Vegeta's
is
my
for
dude,
me.
man.
GT Trunks, even though GT was written out, but
Yep, it's not canon.
it's not. But Trunks, GT Trunks is my guy.
Didn't they want to make it canon? Didn't they, or was that fan made where they did a crossover with Super Saiyan?
No, it's not.
It's not
Yeah.
canon. It's Z
It was
and then
wired.
Super, and then
They
That's the other
completely
confusion
said-
shit. I couldn't. I tried. I mean, I'll be honest. I tried to give Dragon Ball a good try. My
Did
only
you?
favorite characters were Vegeta, Gohan, Broly. I could not get into Goku. Fuck Goku.
Wow, bro. Really? Really?
Oh man.
I'm not. He's not nice.
It's just funny because you two probably live up the block from each other.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's, do we?
Literally, I am the middle spot for both of you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So then I can fight him in real life.
If you want to, I don't know why, but sure.
You don't know why? Have you been paying attention?
I love how this just went off
Oh
the
my
rails.
God.
That's it. This is on
Can we
brand
just-
here.
Can we just go to that burrito
I'm
spot?
joking. Yeah, let's go. When do you want to go?
Here we
When
go.
you coming back up?
I'm back tomorrow afternoon.
Well, I get out of work after 6.
I would have napped by then. Yeah, I could do that.
Now,
hit
let
me
me
up.
know
On
what
that
the
note-
spot is because I'm gonna be up in New York for a couple days in June.
Level 10 introvert.
Yeah, when you come back up, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably.
And if it's for like when you have a free weekend, you can snatch me and bring me back down.
It's not a free weekend. I have a work event on the night of the 22nd, but I'm coming up on the 21st.
We will have a nerds barbecue. We will put Tony
have
back
to.
on the grill. He will be on the grill,
We're still Val too?
cooking food for me, you, Val.
Need to have a whole to do.
We'll bring George.
That's a lot. You know, I can bring the alcohol.
Oh wait, you haven't seen our liquor store, but anyway, we'll talk about that in the green room. This has been another great episode of the Nerds.
He's just trying to say he doesn't have bulletproof glass. That's what he's trying to say.
Wow.
What does that have to do with me bringing alcohol?
I know. I'm just filling in the air for why he said what he said. Honestly,
No, it's like a fucking. We'll
don't
talk
know.
about it in the green room.
I have no idea. To be honest with you,
Oh my
Hey,
god.
this has been your boy Sebastian.
It's been your boy Law.
and your boy Tone from across the fucking hall.
With
I love how we're doing it right now. This is shit. 3, 2, 1.
let's go, everybody.